at least give him 3, possibly 4, and it's too much.
Hey, anybody else agree with Joe and Burbank? Good call, Joe. Good. I understand it. Trust me, I'm hesitant too.
I want to know what the cost is.
Exactly.
Because that to me is a part of whether I'm in or out. And I think where I draw the line is, if I have to throw in Kuminga and potential first round draft picks,
I'm good off that.
It's one or the other.
I don't know if I'm willing to do that. I don't know if I'm.
What if Steph says, this is the guy I want to play with?
Then you do what Steph says. Then you do what Steph says. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So then what do? Do you bring Wiggins back?
And look, if it doesn't work, like this is the beauty of this. If it doesn't work, then you pivot and you go, who wants Paul George?
You can't pivot. You could do that with other guys, too, on this team.
I mean, like, look at what the Nets have done. The Nets have gone all over the place. The Nets have acquired 1 million guys. Then the minute that it was ready to pull the parachute, they pulled it, and then they've pivoted multiple times since. Like, I think in the modern NBA, someone will take Paul George. That doesn't mean you're going to get 10 first-round draft picks, but, like, if it doesn't work out and you don't win, you can always move. You can pivot.
Here's the deal. I do wonder, who is worth more, or who do you think is the better player? Who has the most value, Paul George or Mikal Bridges? Now, everything's not a like-for-like. Teams are going to work differently. Maybe the Knicks overpay for Mikal Bridges.
For the Warriors or in general?
In general. I mean, because Mikal Bridges and Paul George, they both fit. They'll be able to fit. Now, I like Mikal Bridges because he's a lot younger, and boy, when he locks down, he locks down.
Bridges,
I love Mikal Bridges. Don't like him.
And he's
an Iron Man. I said all that yesterday. He hasn't missed a game since high school.
400 some odd.
He hasn't missed a game since high school. And Paul George, we know some injury histories there.
No doubt. You
got to bake into the conversation on this team if you do make a move for Paul George. Steph Curry played 70 games last year? He's going to play that this year? Draymond Green missed a ton of games.
I mean, that's.
And so they're going to miss about 10 games each, maybe, next season. And then Paul George is going to miss some time, right?
But according to Bob Fitzgerald, if Draymond only misses like 15 games instead of 21, then we're in like the 6th seed.
It's kind of right. If Draymond Green doesn't get suspended.
I'm just going off what he said. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. They are a 50-win team if Draymond Green doesn't get suspended. I don't know what that means for the playoffs, but they are a 50-win team, and we're talking about something completely different, possibly.
Is 60 games of Paul George right now, like I hate doing this because this is unfair, but is 60 games of Paul George right now better than the 77 or so that you got from Clay last year?
Oh, no, that's missing 22 games.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of games.
And in the Western Conference.
And I'm trying to be aggressive with it.
In the Western Conference, you need to be in that top 6.
Right. Like, I think most Warrior fans would say, like, yes, like if you go Clay out, PG in, even though it's deeper than that.
Even though that's 17 less games? Oof.
No, I'm saying if they had played equal amounts of games, most right-thinking Warrior, depending on what the cost is, but like we'd say, hey, I'm taking Paul George over Clay. But when you bake in, again, a guy's going to miss games. You have to have him at his best toward the end of the year.
And he's 35. He's a mid-30 guy.
I know.
And mid-30 players typically don't even win. The Spurs had an outlier, but they had Kawhi Leonard. Who was young and was able to help them win that championship in 2014 with the San Antonio Spurs against the Miami Heat. But they had an older Duncan who played his role. They had an older Ginobili, an older Tony Parker. But Kawhi Leonard was able to help with that youth. So who's that youthful piece? If they do trade for Paul George, this is why I have to keep Kuminga. Because I'm not saying Kuminga could be Kawhi Leonard, but maybe he plays that similar role like Kawhi Leonard did with those San Antonio Spurs team. That's asking for a lot. But Steph Curry is still a top 10, top 15 player. We know that.
The age factor is in part why everyone's reluctant to get rid of Kuminga for Paul George. And this is not, I'm the hypothetical, wild. If it was Devin Booker, I'm just using someone younger, would you even hesitate on Kuminga?
No, I wouldn't. I would go get Devin Booker in a heartbeat.
It's primarily the age.
It's age, the history.
And the health, yes. Okay.
And then just looking at the history of the player. Man, he's had some playoff shortcomings.
No doubt.
I mean, Damian Lillard literally waved bye-bye to him and Russell Westbrook in the first round.
Yeah, but coming here, he'd be the number 2.
I know. I get it. He was the number 2 with OKC. Russell Westbrook was the number 1.
Yeah,
they lost in the first round twice.
Westbrook's is a lesser one.
I get it. No, I hear you. I hear it, but he was jumping triple doubles left and right.
Is greater than whatever, Russ was then.
He's still a dynamic player.
It's true.
He goes to the Clippers. All right, they've blown 3-1 leads in the bubble. They lose with home court advantage this year to the Dallas Mavericks. What happened last year to the Clippers? Or they lose in the first, second round? I mean, he just has some wild playoff shortcomings where he's come up small. Now, again, Steph Curry's here, so that alleviates some of the pressure. And if you kept Kuminga, that's the key to me. I'm on board with Paul George if I could keep Kuminga. I have to keep a young asset.
But getting back to the...
And he's the best young asset I have right now outside of all the young assets.
Of course, but going back to the Mikal Bridges trade, which is why I've been so down and out, I think any conversation with Paul George feels like it starts with a Kuminga.
Well, who did Knicks give up? Bogdanovich?
Yeah, but they had the four first-round picks.
So can I just give
the
up?
Warriors don't have.
But can I give up picks?
They could, but then they would be out of them.
They would be out of them. So
like the Knicks still have 7 picks over 7 years,
and the Warriors have nothing
after the trade.
But you know what? Right now with Stephen Curry, should we even give a damn about picks right now?
Well,
isn't the conversation all about maximizing Stephen Curry and Draymond Green?
It is, but if Curry's got 2 more years and he doesn't sign a 5-year extension, let's just say. The 2027 and the 2029 picks are going to be top 3 type picks.
You know what? I'm going to say something here. They will be. But you know what? The hell 2029. I may not even be alive then.
Yeah, but that's how.
I'm like Shanahan. We might not be alive on Sunday.
Yeah, but that's got Robert Parrish, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale.
I hear all that.
Let's start someone else's dynasty filling all over it for you older Warrior fans.
Hold on. But if I could tell you, if I told you, you get Paul George and you keep Kuminga and you give up these picks and you're competing for championships?
Oh, I'd do it. I want to be back. Bonte, I don't want to give up the modern.
So the hell with the picks. I want to be back. In 2027, in 2029, in 2031. The hell with those picks right now. If you're telling me Paul George comes and helps the team. But that's my argument right now is I don't even know if Paul George gets you in the top 5.
Well, I don't know. But if you told me that I knew that we'd be in the mix, yeah, I'd sign up in a heartbeat. In the words of Billy Bob and Halle Berry, make me feel good. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want.
Paul George is going to make you feel good?
I mean, if you told me that was what was going to happen, yeah. Hell yeah.
Do we have to CJ McCollum? If
Curry's happy, I'm in.
All right. Austin Rivers, CJ McCollum. This is interesting. I caught this live yesterday. I was like, ooh.
At Dave & Buster's?
Ooh, it was on the screen.
Oh, okay.
And it had the little volume
up. So you were
up.
contenting while babysitting.
Oh, they got all the screens up. We said no. It was when we were sitting down to eating because Chesa said, Papa, I'm hungry because for some reason she never eats her lunch at school. So it's like, all right, cool. We'll get some food.
McCollum's talking. Did you ask him to turn the volume up at Dave & Buster's? Turn the volume up at Dave & Buster's.
The volume was up a little bit. And Ches was eating pizza and eating my French fries, so she was good in the hood. I had about 5 minutes to just kind of lock in on some things while making sure she didn't venture off somewhere. CJ McCollum, on what team could help Paul George win?
He has to decide what matters most to him. Does he want to be in L.A.? He's from there. I know the family dynamics of being closer to home, what that means. Does he want to continue to play alongside Kawhi and bet on health? Obviously, James probably coming back as well. Does he want to explore living on the East Coast? You know, I've been in New York a little while. It's nice here. It's nice outside of New York in some of the surrounding cities. Does he want to explore that? Does he want to explore seeing what happens with Clay, whether he leaves or stays? So I think he has to kind of figure out what his priorities are and who he wants to kind of play alongside as he gets closer to the latter part of his career.
Can I ask you something? If it's winning, if it's about winning, it would be where?
To the Bay. Him, Steph, Dre, together.
You like that better than Maxey, him, and Joel?
Well, the health. We talk about health.
Okay.
CJ McCollum.
Wow.
His best chance of winning. Up there in the Bay.
Sounds like McCollum wants to come here, too.
He's always having an affinity for that. By the way, Anthony Slater, 8 to 10, Matt. I see the boss man coming to the city. 8 to 10. Anthony Slater's on the way. He's on the way. He's coming down in the Tesla, baby. He's on the way. He can't get here soon enough.
Is Nahegan in the? Is he in the spaceship back there?
Yeah, he is. He's
in the control box.
We got to win the big day. He's the
Hey, book me, John
He's
Sally.
not panicking right now. He's been waiting for the season. There's no doom and gloom happening this morning. Wait till Steiny to do all that. No, I'm kidding.
Paul George's podcast. I'm going to get him on.
The Warriors are finished. By the way, 650. Bonte, are you giving up pods and TJD for Paul George? As much as I love Trace Jackson Davis, and as much as I like pods, I'm doing that deal.
Over Kuminga in a heartbeat.
Oh, I'm trying to keep Kuminga. Like, am I the only one on this boat trying to keep Kuminga?
I like pods, and I could be totally proven wrong. But I'm trading a backup point guard, like a projected backup point guard for Paul George all day.
Thank you, 650 Xfinity Bubble text line. By the way, Warriors offseason summit details starts July 8th. July 8th. Warriors offseason summit. All of us are going to be there. I may have to bring baby Ches with me because I don't know if I have a babysitter that day.
If you bring her, maybe I'll bring my little guy, and we'll just stand there with our kids and not talk at all.
Yeah, she
just
can play the
pictures
iPad.
and shake hands.
I'm okay with that. Monday, July 8th, 4 to 6. Willard the Diz will get the party started at 2 p.m. We're going to be in Fremont, baby. Fremont, California, 39150 Fremont Boulevard in Fremont at Fremont Bank. Space is limited, so go to 957thegame.com to reserve your spot now. 888-957-9570. Who's all in on Paul George? Blind Windhorse with the latest this morning on Get Up.
Paul George, frankly, wants 4 years. He wants a full-out max. And there are a number of teams out there, I am told, that are prepared to give it to him, who are prepared to trade for him. One of those teams potentially is up the coast in Golden State. Golden State is big fish hunting. Remember, last trade deadline, they put a call in about LeBron James. They are sniffing around big deals. If Paul George is willing to leave, they would like to be an option for him. But any of these places that Paul would need to go via trade would have to get worked out with the Clippers and would have to get worked out by Saturday. The Clippers, I think, are in a position where they kind of want to call Paul's bluff that he would actually want to leave his hometown of L.A. So that's one of the most interesting things to watch in terms of stare downs between now and this weekend.
All right, here's the deal. I'm coming up with it off the top of my head. Wiggins, CP3. Let's throw GP2 in
Anthony
there.
Slater's in the building. He's about to douse all this water on us.
Right.
He's about to shut all that down.
In there.
We got a legit professional in here.
The 2026 first-round pick, the 2028 first-round pick. What do you think? You doing it?
Sure, why not? Why not? The hell with it. Let's have fun. By the way, Anthony Slater's Cleveland Guardians.
Our guy Quan. Ballin'. Redwood City, stand up.
They don't even have Shane Bieber, man. He's out for the season. They're still rolling.
Their jerseys are growing on me, too. I like the font.
Guardians
and I like their city connection.
Guardians are tough. Stephen Vogt, manager of the year in the American League? Possibly. So is Kuminga a sticking point for fans out there? 888-957-9570. We'll take calls.
Course a little out of curiosity?
Change course of what?
In a good way. No, I mean it's a good way.
Change course about what?
Are you more in on Paul George today than you were yesterday? Seeing the rhetoric?
No. Because I want to see what the compensation is.
So
I want to see
what
they're asking.
Okay.
What are they asking for?
What's the cost?
Yeah. I'm in. I'm in on making the team better. Absolutely. I'm not out on it, but what is it going to cost?
So you draw the line at Kuminga.
I mean, it's just Paul George is 34 years old. He's going to be 35 in August, and he's going to want a 3 to 4 year deal at max money.
Okay. The 4 years
Paul George. It's okay, that's fine. But the money, right? And it is Paul George. And I'm trying to think, and I'm trying to play it in my head. Is Paul George going to really take the Warriors from 10th place to 5th to 4th to 3rd place? I don't know.
In podcast rankings for NBA players? Or
no, I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I know you're trying to be funny. And that's another thing. Podcasts. Now we got 2 podcasts.
Well, Steph's got one too.
Yeah, no, 3 podcasts now.
And Kerr occasionally joins them.
Yeah, he's got a lot of podcasts going on. We just should have brought in JJ Redick on the staff. Podcast-itis is